Big bro was already destined for the stars.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you got questions for me?
Yeah, so I do have questions. Okay, well, when was it proven that the Earth wasn't flat? Would you know the answer right off? It's Copernicus.
Well, it's so early people knew. Okay, let's go back pre-Columbus. Okay,
Yeah.
where
Copernicus, though?
Columbus and Copernicus just is a little bit before Columbus, but sure, let's go back. No, even earlier. Let's go back to the 14th century, 13th century. People knew that if a ship sailed at sea away from port, eventually it would disappear over your horizon. If Earth were flat, it would just stay in view.
So let me ask you something. When people say things like, convince me the Earth isn't flat, what's the first thing you'd show them?
We used to do this as a kid. If you have a nice sort of flat horizon, it could be the ocean, just something nice flat horizon. You lay down, feet pointing towards the setting sun, and you lay down and you watch the sunset. The instant the sun sets, you quickly stand up and the sun pops back up above the horizon, because now you have 5 or 6 feet extra sight line to go beyond where the sun set for you when you were laying down on the ground.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing.
So what is the craziest conspiracy theory that you've heard recently?
Here's a conspiracy theory, I think.
Yeah.
That all the flat earthers in the world,
Yeah.
they want to be the first to be launched into orbit when NASA has sort of routine tourism to go into orbit. So that, because NASA's saying, you guys are so annoying, we're going to send you in orbit around the Earth just to shut you up. Then they all get a free first trip around the Earth. That's what I'm thinking.
Be a flat earther because you want to be grounded to the round Earth.
So here's an interesting thing in Euclidean geometry. You can approximate a large enough sphere. If the region on that sphere is small enough, you can approximate it as being flat.
So flat earthers are not wrong. The Earth is flat as a Euclidean sphere.
Well, no, so Earth is flat in a small enough area, like your zone around you. The perfectly good jobs you can have in this world, thinking Earth is flat. But one of them should not be the head of NASA. No, stay away from NASA. But you want to play basketball, the court is flat. You're going to be an accountant. They don't need to know the Earth is round, and I don't have the bandwidth to chase them all down. There's an old saying. It's true like 90% of the time, I think. If an argument lasts longer than 5 minutes, then both sides are wrong.
That's amazing. I love that. You're one of my heroes. And it's such an honor to have your brain speak on such a subject that's so contentious for so many people. I don't blame them because, they're subject to a lot of platforms which are incredibly distracting from their natural impulses and their curiosity and their critical thinking. All of those things have been inhibited. So when they come to these really rigid conclusions without enough information, I empathize. But, it's always nice to have a really sharp pen like yourself to burst those bubbles and to let in the fresh air of the truth and science.
Look, the big fear for me, not fear, but it's a reality to be overcome, is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right, but not enough about the subject to know you're wrong.
Yes.
And most people are caught up right in that middle section.
Oh, yeah.
And as an educator, I think it's my duty to liberate people from that chasm that they drop themselves into so that they can see the objective truths of the world on which civilization is founded. So there you have it, dude.
Doing the universe's work. That's the universe's work right there.
Universe's work, not God's work. Universe's work. I get you. I see what you did there.
Anyways, man, thank you so much for your time and your space.
I'm glad this worked out. And you know how to find me.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.